everyone, and welcome to the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world show made for the fans by a fan. I am your host, as always, Richard Tiemann. This is the award-winning Fan Show. That's right, everyone's a fan of something, and we've got something for every fan. For those of you that are a fan of gambling, we do have Kevin Gootee coming up tonight. He is semi-regular, always a good time. He's a comedian, he's the man behind comics, watching comics, as well as a few other things. Fantasy Jib Jab on Facebook Live and Twitch TV, so we'll be catching up with him. There's a few new things going on in his world over on the East Coast. And then for you Arena Football and Alliance of American Football fans, we also have Fabian Guerra, former Carolina Cobra. He will be coming up later on as well, and it was a great time to catch up with him. That's two members of the Memphis Express that I've had on this week, and we'll hopefully get somebody on, actually hopefully multiple people on from all 8 teams as their kickoff is set for this Saturday, which will bring us to the headlines portion of the Fan Show. And headlines, of course, brought to you by Dynamite Enterprises. These guys right here, Dynamite Enterprises, as you can see, this is one of the many things, if you're watching on Facebook Live, this is one of the many things that they make. Notepads. They can do custom notepads as well. What is sticking to this? Oh, hey. They made these. That's weird. They make stickers. They do custom apparel, promo items, embroidery, trophies, banners, stickers. They don't do belts, though. For belts, you need to go to, of course, Undisputed Belts. Those are my guys. Been a very happy and fun and healthy working relationship for going on 4 years now, and that's crazy to think about. But we will be doing another Player of the Game with the Fan Show Tour, which starts March 9th, officially, the big banner drop game for the Iowa Barnstormers. And then also we'll have several stops for the IFL, the NAL, and maybe some stuff going on in between. But I'm going to have Dynamite Enterprises and Ethan, of course, do some work for me. He's going to be customizing some more things for the tour. We want to make each tour better than the one before, and it seems like every time I get on a plane and I'm going to even the first stop, I go, man, I should have had that. I should have done that, or I should have this. And I'm like, well, I'll do it next time or next tour. And the goal is to make that list, that moment, like smaller and smaller things, like just minor details. But the key is presentation and the glory in the details. So we're going to try our best with Dynamite Enterprises. So if you have something that you want customized, then go ahead and go to dynamiteenterprises.com or email Ethan directly, ethan@dynamiteenterprises.com. And so the headlines today are, yes, football no longer ends in February. Football is actually going to just get started up again this weekend, and it's a lot of skepticism about this. There's a lot of people that aren't sure just what's going to happen with this Alliance of American Football. But as we discussed yesterday at the top of the show, it seems like they have a lot of the right things in the right place, that they're doing things the right way where others have failed in the past. Their marketing, big social media push, getting the faces that they want in the roles that those faces need to be. Hines Ward is sort of the face of the league. You have Mike Singletary as a coach, Mike Martz as a coach, Steve Spurrier as a coach, and now they have players that you've probably heard of once or twice. If you're, if you watch football and follow it religiously, you have probably heard about 90% of the guys that have made these final 52-man rosters. And Fabian Guerra, who's going to be coming up later on the show, he was so much fun to watch in the National Arena League last year for the Carolina Cobras. He helped take them to the championship and win it. And Coach Back had nothing but high praise for this guy. He's like, this guy's going to be a stud. He deserves an opportunity at the next level, and he gets that opportunity now with the Memphis Express. We talk about that and what playing arena football last season did for him in regards to making sure that he was fresh and ready to go and all that good stuff. So, football year-round. What a time to be alive. That is absolutely right, Adam. And so kickoff will be this Saturday. Let's check the schedule here. So week 1, we have... this is the Memphis schedule. I want the whole damn thing. Where's the whole schedule here? AAF.com. Let's see if they've got the schedule. And these teams, they all look pretty sharp. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Birmingham Iron logo or stuff like that. But okay, so Saturday night on CBS. And we have a doubleheader. We have the San Diego Fleet in San Antonio to take on the Commanders. And then we have the Atlanta Legends in Orlando to take on the Apollos. That is at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, if you are interested in watching this football that looks like it's going to be the Spring Developmental League. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think my team is probably going to end up being San Diego. Their uniforms, their logo look just sharp. But obviously I know people on other teams. The Express are probably going to be one of those teams I cheer for. And then the Apollos, I think, have a great logo and color scheme. And they're in Orlando, one of my favorite cities. It's where my school is at. It's where my wife and I spent our honeymoon. So it's going to be a good time. Salt Lake, you guys have football, the Stallions. So congratulations to those of you that Salt Lake is the closest to you. You guys can go and enjoy some football. But Arizona gets another pro team. Atlanta gets another pro team. Memphis gets another pro team. But we have San Antonio getting a pro team, San Diego getting a pro team back, and then we have Orlando getting one and Birmingham getting one. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I have a good feeling about this, and there's not a lot of things that I have had good feelings about that went the other way. So that's good. Let's see here. Oh, onside kick. Yeah, there's going to be... I know that there are some rule changes. This is still your standard full-size field 11-on-11 football. But yeah, there are some things that they are doing differently. And I think that that's a good thing for them. Obviously, the XFL, which is going to debut next year, is looking to do football reimagined completely differently. So we'll see how that works out for them. But the AAF is trying to keep it very close to the football that we know here in the States, but also slightly different so that they can maybe try some new things. I don't know. We'll see. CGS, the College Gridiron Showcase, has some new social media handles that you guys should definitely check out. CGS Small School. And then also they're doing kind of this thing on, let's see, let me bring it up right now. College Gridiron Showcase. They're doing this series. They're kind of like a card, you know, when you used to get the Topps cards, and it had like the player profile. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Today they did Cole Herdman, tight end from Purdue. He was actually one of the player spotlight guys that we had while the fan show was down there. But yeah, they're doing this series right now. If you go and like their Facebook page, College Gridiron Showcase, then you can see all that they've got. All that they've got going on right now. If you're watching on, Facebook Live, then yeah, this is what we've got for you. And they had some guys in the Super Bowl, so CGS, it's doing its job. It's working. It's working well. So go give them a like and a follow. The IFL season kicks off in less than a month, and then the National Arena League, I believe, is just about ready to release their schedule. Sad news yesterday, which we did not receive until the show was over, but the Maine Mammoths will not have a 2019 season. Very, very disheartening to hear that. They were looking for local ownership, could not find it in time, and so rather than continue the waiting game and try to press on, they're going on a hiatus for a season at least. But I know a lot of guys, players and coaches, front office and staff, and I wish them the very best. I know that there's a lot of teams that would be happy to have them. It just happens to be so late before the season. You want them to find a home. You want them to find a good home. And hopefully they can continue to do what they do what they love. So best of luck, you guys in Maine, the Mammoths. My thoughts are with you guys. I hope you land somewhere good. But that is the latest from the NAL. So it looks like expansion, but not. They added 2 teams, but they lost 2 teams. So they kind of broke even there. Lehigh Valley is a no-go, and now Maine is a no-go. But they get the New York Streets and the return, the resurrection of the Orlando Predators. In wrestling, there's some rumors going around that AEW, the All Elite Wrestling, is trying to get their hands on Randy Orton, which is just funny. He's the guy who probably has the most cush contract next to The Undertaker and, well, Chris Jericho before he signed with AEW. He doesn't have to do live events. He's always in the main title picture. He is pretty much like one of the top tier main card guys, and it's not just, yeah, it's it's just really, really funny that there's a rumor about that. Finn Balor is also a name being thrown around that might go to AEW, and I could believe that before I believe Randy Orton is going to go. Seth Rollins is injured, and he will be for about a month. Luckily, Mania is about 2 months away, 2 or 3 months. Yeah, about 2.5 months away. So he should be fine for that, but obviously it's going to be a lot of promo stuff, a lot of on-the-mic stuff between now and then, unless they hit the panic switch and decide to replace him in the main event, which would just be weird. Battlebots, they have announced that their next event is happening April, I believe the 12th through the 26th. Same Battlebot location, same Battlebot time and everything. Tickets are going to go on sale soon. However, they are not saying that it is Battlebots Season 4 officially. It is a Battlebots event. So I imagine they're waiting for Discovery to make the announcement so that they can make the official Season 4 announcement. But anyway, that's good news, right? We've been waiting to hear, as far as the robotics and mechanics division, that Battlebots was going to have another season. It did so well last year. I don't know why it wouldn't. I don't know why it seems to be such a long, drawn-out thing. Nonetheless, here we are, and bot fans rejoice. Bot builders and competitors are going to, they're excited. They're ready to go back. Outdoors division, if you're in the Pacific Northwest area, specifically Spokane, there is a fishing tournament this Saturday at Diamond Lake. It is from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Final weigh-in is 5 p.m. Sportsman's Warehouse will be on location for this, but it should be a good time. First taste of fishing, I believe it's ice fishing, but they're fishing for perch. It's a $20 per adult registration, and then the proceeds go to YES, which is youth something. I don't have it in front of me, but it is for a program here for the youth in Spokane, the Pacific Northwest. And that really about does it for the headlines. We talked yesterday, so there wasn't a whole lot. It wasn't a very big 24-hour period. And I'm trying to think if there was anything that I missed. I've got so much stuff from the AAF here in my news feed, but also NFL. There was a few new things that took place here. Let's see. There's an update for the NFL. The Eagles are going to pick up Nick Foles' $20 million option for 2019. Foles will pay back $2 million to become a free agent at the start of the new league year. So that's good news for the Eagles. I know that the Miami Dolphins have their new head coach now, and that was that's Brian Flores. He was with the Patriots. He will be the Miami Dolphins' new head coach. Good to see him land a spot. And then the Rams quarterback coach, the QB coach, is going to be the new head coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. Zach Taylor was officially named their head coach. So that should wrap it up here. CGS, AAF, IFL, NAL, WWE, Battlebots, outdoors. There wasn't much in music and pop culture. I kind of feel like that's going to be like a weekly thing, unless there's like a concert series that comes up. Kiss was in Spokane. I heard that was incredible. I've seen Kiss once at the arena, and it was a great time. It's just not a band that I feel the need to go see multiple times. I would see Foo Fighters as many times as I could humanly possible and afford. I would go and see the shit out of Foo Fighters and Blink-182, but that's just me. Kiss is kind of, you can only see so much big production and pyrotechnics, but for those that go and love the music and love the band and what they do, I'm not going to, knock them. I think it was great. But yeah, Kiss was in Spokane. I heard it was great. So good for everybody that was able to go and enjoy that. And then, the Revival's definitely going to AEW. Like, that's not even a question. Them and Hideo Itami are probably the first dominoes to fall there. Thank you, Adam, for bringing that up. But yeah, the Revival, they've been so misused on the main roster. It's freaking ridiculous. But I hope that what it is, it isn't some, love lost or whatever they call it. I would like to think, hard feelings. I would like to think that these guys that are leaving, that it's not WWE taking it personally. I mean, yeah, it's their fault for misusing the talent and not writing better storylines or having them in bigger matches. But I would like to have them be like, okay, we understand. Here's your release. Go and be a star somewhere else because we don't have room for you. We don't have the writing for you. Whatever the case is, don't let it be personal. Don't have some non-compete in a contract that says, no, you can't go and be with anybody else, because there's people that do that, and it's kind of dumb. It sucks. So, yeah, that will do it. And we've got Kevin Gootee up first, and then Fabian Guerra of the Memphis Express next. So remember, the link, if you're watching right now, the link is there. That's where you can go and listen to these live right now. There is the chat on Spreaker.com. Otherwise, don't forget, if you can't listen live, if you're able to tune in for these short little headline Facebook Live videos that we've been doing, then you can subscribe to the podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and, of course, Spotify. Spreaker.com is another way that you can subscribe and download, but it's also where we broadcast to you live from within Fan Cave Studios. So I will see you guys tomorrow, but you can hear the rest of the show right now on Spreaker.com. So I'll see you guys soon. Here is Kevin Gootee of Comics Watching Comics. All right, ladies and gentlemen, he's back. He's one of my favorites. He's a gambler. He's a funny man. He's a joker, a smoker. I don't know Midnight Toker, but he's one of the guys from Comics Watching Comics. It is Kevin Gootee. Welcome back, Kevin. How you doing?
First, thank you for having me back. First of all, I'm not one of the guys. I am the guy. The guy. And by the way, can we also start off by saying that Steve Miller, awful band. I moved to the Senate that be eradicated from the American historical, banks and time capsules or whatever. Truly terrible, a blight on our society. We need to move past that in life and never acknowledge it again.
Do you have a favorite band?
People ask you this, and I have it's going to sound horrible. I have two. I have a tie. I can't pick.
A tie.
Bad Religion, and Nirvana.
All right. I will give you a tie because it's not like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. I was worried there for a second, but
let's not. Oh, come on! It's ridiculous.
I will give you the tie for Nirvana and Bad Religion. Very, very well done.
Oh yeah.
Here's a question I'll ask you that got brought up. I was doing my annual Super Bowl of all things rock and roll, and Nirvana actually ended up going against the Foo Fighters, I think, in the 4th round.
Not even a discussion. Look, I am not going to eat your lunch if you like the Foo Fighters. There are bands where I'm like, you're horrible for even liking that. Why not? See Rush is example one. Also see Coldplay or Dave Matthews as well. But I'm not crazy at all about the Foo Fighters, but I respect them, and I'm not gonna eat your lunch if you say that. But it's not even a discussion. I mean, Grohl's great. Grohl's a genius. Grohl, spans all time. I get it. Not my cup of tea, but I'm cool with it. But Nirvana, it's not even close. It's not even close. I know longer body of work. I know all the points, but I just see it as Nirvana all the way. Thank you. Next topic, please.
Well, the question was, is there even a Foo Fighters without Nirvana? And I honestly don't know.
Of course not. course not. No.
Yeah, I don't think Dave would have found his inner rock star if he didn't play with Nirvana. Although they did discover him, he was playing with another band at the time, and their drummer sucked. So who knows? But anyway, yeah, we're here to talk about you and comics, watching comics, and of course sports. You bet a lot and you win a lot. I'm very envious of that.
You follow the picks.
Yes. I do, and I gotta say, man, you're good at what you do. And so when the Super Bowl stage was set, what did you take into account? Like, what kind of factors went through your mind? Like, how do I want to bet this? Do you look at the spread first, or do you go with your gut and then figure out where you want to pinpoint your money placement at?
So this year was very easy for me. I knew the Pats, honest to God. I said, there's no way they're losing 2 in a row. Jared Goff, not that great. I mean, he was great in the second half. He didn't have to do much of the Saints game. He didn't have to do much against Dallas. He had a couple throws, but that was a running game all the way. He, like I said, did not have to do that much. You mean to tell me that Bill Belichick couldn't have figured those guys out with 2 weeks to figure that whole thing out? Losing last year was the worst thing for the Rams to have to face. Gurley is banged up badly. I mean, he was the MVP until about October, November, when that knee was flaring up to the point they had to get C.J. Anderson. The Pats' run attack has been fantastic, and the Rams' defense. If the pass rush gets going, you're done. But the Pats blocked out when they had the Chargers at home, who have a great pass rush. They kept them. They buried it alive. They blocked it out. And the Chiefs are great at home on defense. Also a great pass rush. Also kept them stymied. How many 3rd and 10s did we see the Pats pick up? This was not an issue. I went home the night of the conference championships and bet it already, and I got it at 1.5. And my wife goes, "Did you bet already?" I go, "Yep." She goes, "Throw 1,000 the Patriots for me." That's
wow.
how I go, "Really?" And that was probably about 5 to 10 minutes of waiting between me putting the 1.5 in and then getting it at 2 when she wanted it. So we both had bets on the Patriots. We both were like, "Nope, not even a discussion, not even." Everyone, I love the Patriots, which I hated because that always scares me. But not a question. The only question were what props was I going to put in, and I had a bunch of those. So
yeah, there was so the Falcons Super Bowl, the big 28-3 deficit comeback for Tom's number 5. I remember
Yes.
I made my prediction in favor of the Falcons, and I said this is going to be a game that ends in overtime, and it's going to be a walk-off touchdown. I was a point off on both the teams. I think I forget what the exact one, but it was like 28, and I said like 27 or 29, and then 1 point off for the other. And then of course the Patriots won and not the Falcons. But somebody told me, dude, if you would have just bet on the fact that this game was going to end in overtime, you could have made bank on that alone, which I didn't know you could. I didn't know they even had prop bets for that.
Oh yeah, I did not have I couldn't figure that game out. The only thing I had was the over, which was cooked. It looked like it was cooked for the longest time, and then they started ratcheting it up. And when they went to overtime, I go, all right, if one of these teams kick a field goal and that's it, I push. Because it was like 58 or 59. It was something astounding. I said, if one of them kicks a field goal and ends on that and no one else scores after that, I push. Because I think I had like 1,000 on it. I said, if someone scores a touchdown, it's game over. So, of course, Patriots win the coin flip. Boom. And I go, of all things, and I hate the Patriots. I'm a Giants fan. I hate them. So as soon as they, what's his face rating with that touchdown, I go, well, I just won $1,000, but I feel a little dirty with the Patriots winning, but money cures everything, as we all know.
Do you have a favorite prop bet? Like, is there one that's your go-to every year? Do you like to see what
every year I bet? Every year I'm at my buddy Vio's or Steve's house. And every year we bet the coin toss. I always take tails, and it's funny. We're actually back to that Atlanta game. The tails hit for the regulation, but I lost it in overtime, so he actually got his money back. And tails actually hit again this year. So I usually bet national anthems. A little secret for you. May sound it's going to be a little racial, but bear with me. White people always take the under. Black people always take the over. There you go.
Wow. And there's people that bet on what color the Gatorade is going to be.
Yeah, that was out there too. I don't like that because it's just I do like more props in that, stat props. I don't do the cutesy poo ones, like what song or any of that nonsense.
That one seems like it's just a stretch, just something they throw in there. But I think there was what color Joe Buck's tie was going to be that year. I think that was the Falcons
he was
year
on
too.
Stern he was on Stern last year talking about that, and he goes, I could go to Vegas right now and just absolutely clean house, which I just don't get why they don't do. Like if I'm Buck or Romo, I think one of the props, for example, was, will one of them say Hotlanta? And they didn't say it. I found that out. But if I'm one of them, I'm like, I am going to Vegas, or I'm going to go online and just max bet everything in my power to do that. I don't understand why they don't take full advantage of that.
Well, and see, I don't understand how those can even be bets then if they can be taken advantage like that. Because if you're betting on a commentator's tie and that line is out before the game, it's like they could either be a dick about it or they could bet on themselves. It just seems like it's a really odd thing for Vegas to allow something that somebody could definitely sway the outcome of,
Well, the reason, of course, is that only one person has any obviously influence over it. It's not like you can't bet Survivor because a bunch of those people know what's up, With this, only Joe Buck and his wife know what color his tie is going to be, in the for the broadcast and vice versa. So, yeah, those are a bunch of profits. Like I said, I just had a lot of the stat ones. Those are the ones I take. I don't take those cutesy poo, Who? I mean, one of the ones was when they said the MVP. What's the first thing they're going to say? Who are they going to thank? God, team, family, city of. I'm like, nope. I'm a stat guy. I want numbers. I want something that, I can research and pull up. I'm not betting whimsical stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely entertaining and interesting to see what they come up with each year. I wonder if there was a line on if Tom Brady was going to kiss Robert Kraft on the mouth at the end in the confetti or just on the cheek, if that was a prop bet, because there's always some kind of affectionate exchange between the player and someone that's not like his teammate, like there was the Papa John and Peyton Manning moment, and that was awkward as hell.
Yeah, that's watch next year. Will Brady and Belichick kiss on the 50-yard line?
I don't.
We'll find out.
We'll see, but so bets over under the game, the spread. I mean, you've got it pretty well figured out. So I'm definitely going to be trying to make some money with you next season. But now it's about a new season, and that is watching comics. And tell us what we've got in store for us this next go round.
What's in store? Well, it dropped about a month ago, and it's the All-Star panel where everyone, the whole point of the show, I mean, it's twofold. It's the, we pick, of course, our favorite comics and to win, and then we vote on them for one to win every season. But the home audience, plays along too. They're voting on their favorite panelists on social media. It's oh wow! Sorry, I got blindsided by. All right, who cares? And I got an email from an agency I don't work with saying how their agents left. I'm like, oh, it's cool, I'm not rep by somebody else. Who cares? Anyway, sorry. The home audience plays along on social media. They vote for their favorite panelists that they want to see come do the All-Star edition. So we tallied the votes. I tallied the votes. And we had our favorite, the All-Star panel, come sit in, and that's who it is. So Gino Bisconti is back from In Hot Water on the Cumia Network, which I did last week, and I got to sit in with T.J. Miller. So go check that out on the Cumia Network last week, the Compound Media Group. And me and T.J. Miller sat in and talked to Gino about Super Bowl bets. Gino also had the Pats, so good on him. And then Richie Redding is back. Richie tours for Cat Williams nationally. So whenever Cat Williams does his national tours, whenever he's not in jail, throwing guns in the river, I'm making that last part up, but definitely up to whatever. So he says Richie is Cat's tour national opener on the tour, and then Sean Lynch, Mr. Man of Many Voices himself. So it was three of us on the couch. And we did that was the All-Star panel for Season 7. Season 8's going to come out in a couple weeks or so, I think. I just sent everything in today to Amazon, so they got to go run through everything, make sure everything's, kosher. And it should be up in a few weeks, and that panel is going to be really cool, and I'll tease you who that is. Liz Mealy is on that. She's at the Cellar. We also have Mike Bichetti, who was on Artie Lang's show and the Stern Show. Also from the Stern Show, Shuli Agar is on the panel, and master panelist Eddie Brill, who used to book Letterman. He's been around forever and a day. So I'm very happy with this iteration of all iterations of my panels. But yeah, this Season 8 is going to be pretty dope as well. Looking forward to that. But yeah, 7 is funny as hell. You definitely get a kick out of them. I promise you that.
Yeah, I need something to binge watch, so I'll probably go and do that. And I have Amazon. I've got Fire TVs, so it's easy and convenient for me. I just watched a special of one of the guys who's coming to Spokane, I think next month or the month after, but he's a Pacific Northwest native. His name's Tyler Bowe. Very funny comic. I think he does a lot of dry bar stuff, so I think it's one of those clean comedy, but he's still a funny guy. And so, yeah, that was on Amazon. And you guys are on Amazon, so it's all in the Amazon family, keeping it kosher.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm actually, for all those listeners out there, I'm trying to actually get off Amazon and get to like a network and whatnot, or still channel. That's where the real money is. Amazon's great. Amazon's been pretty good to us, but it's time to really make some real money so I can get out of this day job. How about that?
Well, you're not making the big bucks with fantasy jibber jabber?
Buddy, I wish. And that's another thing. Hey, if if your audience knows people, I'm trying to get fantasy football jibber jabber onto our network as well. And that's where we talk, of course, as you just briefly talked about, the fantasy football hot trash, cold cash players of the week, as well as, of course, fantasy football bets. And me and my buddy Gerard Herron go on there, and we give you some pretty darn good picks, make some on-air wagers as well. So
it's very true. I've watched several of them, and I do take the advice to heart because I'm a competitive guy like that, and I want to make sure that I get the best knowledge and know-how, and Kevin definitely provides that. And watching comics, Season 7 available now on Amazon. Season 8 has been submitted, so be on the lookout for that. But go and get a good laugh, because that's the fun thing to do. Everybody loves to laugh. If you don't, you're weird. And I don't know why you wouldn't like to laugh when it cures all. It's such good medicine, as they say. But one thing that is very funny is Kevin when he gets going on a rant on Jib Jab. And so I hope we can look forward to a lot more of that next
Plenty
season.
of rants. Any rant in particular stand out? I'm curious. People do love the rants, but what was anyone stand out to you?
Oh, geez. There was a Stardom Sit-em, and it was somebody that you were just all out on. And I'm trying to remember which player it was, because it was the same episode that I asked about Jimmy Graham, because the Packers had like an injury to one of their receivers, so he was possibly going to see an uptick in production. But either just before that or just out, you went on a rant on some guy that somebody asked you about that you were just not feeling, and you just went crazy, but it was hilarious. Oh, I hate that I can't remember it now, because, of course, tip of my tongue, and I can't think of what moment it was. But yes, your rants are epic and hilarious. So I thank you for
thanks.
that.
Glad you enjoy it. That's what we're trying to do here.
Well, I don't know how much notice you would need, and I don't know when I plan on being in L.A. again, but hopefully it would be enough notice where I'd let you know I'm going to be in the area, and I could come and rant with you sometime on Fantasy Jib Jab, because it looks like it's a hoot, and it's a great time to actually be there.
It is a hoot, but guess what? You're on the wrong coast. I'm not in L.A. I'm 10 minutes outside of New York. I'm in Jersey.
Oh, that's right. I don't know why I kept. That's probably because I assume that everybody with a TV show or something like that is happening in LA. So.
Fair point. So now you have to get on a plane and come on over across the states that no one cares about.
All right. Well, he is Kevin Gootee. He is a betting and wagering extraordinaire. Oh, that was a question I was going to ask you. Is there any bets you do habitually or maybe once every other season? Kind of like when you're playing blackjack, you either bet with the dealer every time or you don't do it at all. But is there a bet that you do at the beginning of the season, kind of your long con? You're like, I have a feeling about either who's going to be rookie of the year or breakout player of the year. Like, is there anyone that you put money down before kickoff and then you just wait and just watch how it plays out?
I don't. Only thing I do like long term are over unders for the wins for the year. I do not bet on, and I should have because I'm a Giants fan. I should have said, Jesus, go out and bet on your boy Barkley. He's your guy, and he's going to kill it. And he did.
Yep.
But no, I only bet over unders. That's what I like. Team for the year. In fact, a bunch of my buddies, every year we do one. We sit down, we crunch numbers and the schedule and all that. I mean, one over under for the year, and if we win, we go out and we get steak in the city. And this year we had the Ravens under 8, which did not hit. So whoops. Yeah, but yeah, I don't on any kind of any awards or anything. Here's actually on sports, but here's a gambling degenerate story, one that you'll probably tell your grandkids. Last year, I bet the Oscars. And if you remember the film, The Darkest Hour, and the one about Churchill, right? All right. So I saw the previews for this, which came out like not this past Christmas, a year and change ago Christmas.
Yeah.
I saw when Dunkirk came in the theater, I saw the preview. Go, Gary Oldman is winning the Academy Award. I forgot about it. Then the film came out, and I saw it. I'm like, yep, he's winning it. Perfect. So when they announced like the nominees, I looked down and I get the odds, and I forgot what it was, but at the time I had $800 in my account online, and I go, I'm putting all this on Gary Oldman to win Best Actor, which he did. Do you want to take a guess how astronomically high the odds were? Here's a better one. How much did I win putting down $800 that Gary Oldman was going to win Best Actor? How much did I win?
You probably broke even.
I broke even on the. Okay, so you're saying I won $800?
Yeah.
That he won. Okay. The answer is I won $17. That's how high the odds were. Yet I still said, "The hell with it. I'm going to bet on him." Everyone goes, "Are you kidding me? You bet all that just to win?" I go, yeah, it's called a sure thing, and that's what it was. A sure thing. You don't make money like that low if it's not going to be a sure thing, dummies. So. Yeah, that's a funny. People go like, "What the hell?" Yeah, that's a funny story. I think people go, "What's the whole point of betting?" It's just, hey, it's $18 more I had before. It's also funny, but yeah, of course, a funnier story if you lost that and I was down $800 with him, like I don't know, minus 3,500 or whatever the money line was.
Wow. It was a sure thing, but it was like a really sure thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like Alfonso Cuarón is like that sure thing for this year for Roma as best director, but I'm not gonna. I think it's like minus 2,500, which is insane for all those people who don't understand gambling. Minus 2,500 means you have to put down $2,500 to win $100. Like that's how astronomically favored he is.
Wow. I didn't even know that, but you learn something new every day. So I appreciate the knowledge for betting in the off season on things that might be fun to bet on. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, that's when if you got the bucks to do it, go for it. But if you need a lot to do that. One guy on the I forgot his name. I think the only thing you can bet on if you're going to bet on the Oscars is something like Black Klansman for Spike Lee directing, because he's never won yet. Like if you're going to take that's like an educated long shot, but I wouldn't even do that. I would just lay low if you're going to, don't bet the Oscars. Go bet baseball over unders. Go bet the NFL. But yeah, I'm Oscars this year, who knows?
All right, well, he is Kevin Gootee, gambling, betting, extraordinaire aficionado, whatever you want to say. He's good at it. And then also
thanks.
the man of comics, watching comics. Kevin, thank you for your time. Always a pleasure, and we will talk more. I'm sure we'll find something to yak about, and then we always love to have you on during the NFL season too. So there's plenty to come. But
Yeah, guys, listen, thanks again for checking it out. Yeah, check out Amazon's Comics with the Comics, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You have a great rest of your night.
You too. Take care.
All right. Once again, thank you, Kevin Gootee, for taking the time, stopping by. Always a laugh, always a good time with Kevin, so I can't wait for him to be back on. But we are moving right along. So up next is Fabian Guerra of the Memphis Express, formerly of the Carolina Cobras, and let's hear all about his experience to the Alliance of American Football. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me now from the National Arena League to the Alliance of American Football, from one expansion team to an expansion league. He is the star of, well, what was the Carolina Cobras, but now will probably be the star of the Memphis Express. It is Fabian Guerra. How you doing, man?
Good, glad to be on.
Yeah, Coach Back obviously speaks very highly of you. That man has got an eye for talent. You helped the Cobras get to their first championship in franchise history, which was also their inaugural season, and you're going to look to do the same with the Express. I talked to your boy, Boynton, and we actually, his interview aired yesterday. So talk to him about, life on an expansion team, but I also pointed out this isn't just an expansion team where you're new to a league and everything's sort of been established. Like when you guys take the field, when there's kickoff for the entire league this weekend, everything that happens will be the first time that it happens. Has that thought settled in for you yet?
Oh wow, it's just it's been crazy. Just the whole how everything's happening so fast. How I went from a new team in Carolina, and then now I'm in a new league with the Lions. And first, I'll just like to start off by saying thank you to Coach Back for giving me an opportunity to keep living my dream in the arena. And now Coach Singletary, that's just giving me an opportunity. I know Boynton has a crazy story. I bet he talked all about it last week. But yeah, yesterday. But it's just how it's crazy how Coach Back believed in me, and now a guy like Coach Singletary, Hall of Famer, is now believing in me. It just speaks volumes to me, and I'm gonna do whatever in my power to prove him right for giving me a chance.
Absolutely, man. We're talking guys with eyes for talent. Coach Back knew that you were destined for big things. I think any time that he had the opportunity to brag about you, he took, social media or even just me and him talking like, hey, he's always got such a stacked roster. And it's usually on the defensive side. Of course, McCollum being his quarterback, they have a great relationship. But as far as the weapons for him, you were fantastic last season. You and Barnett were a great duo. But now you're going to play for the AAF. And Coach Singletary, I'm a Niners fan, so this is so close to my heart because he was coach for my team for a while. And the man knows his stuff. Like, what kind of impression did you get when you first arrived to Memphis? You got to meet everybody, and then time to go to work, and Singletary's out there coaching you guys. Like, was that as real as it's gotten for you?
Well, first, when I told my parents and my family that Coach Singletary called me on the phone, they were like, "Wait, who? wait, who?" And I said, "Coach Singletary." He said, "The Mike Singletary?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "That's my hero. That's my favorite player ever." And yeah, that was probably that was a great impression from my family, and how thrilled they were just to know that Coach Singletary calls me and checks up on me and offered me a contract. So yeah, that was a real exciting moment. And then yeah, when I met everybody in San Antonio, Coach Singletary, just the words he speaks, the how every day he just works to get better, and kind of a similar story to me, how he stays after practice just to get better when he was in college, and yeah, just it was just crazy just to be around him each and every day, and just picking at his brain is just amazing.
I bet it's a real trip, man, and I'm so happy for you to be there. Memphis, in my opinion, you guys got a great color scheme. The logo is awesome. I think the whole culture there, from the front office to the head coach to, of course, you guys out on the field, really well done. AAF has really outdone themselves as far as a first-time league, which is being now sort of dubbed as a NFL farm league or a developmental league. But, of course, this is what you guys in the indoor and arena game have been doing all along. So I don't know what the feelings are like as far as you're being on the Cobras 1 year and now you're in the AAF, and maybe people's perception of you and your talent has completely changed, although your talent has completely changed. But is this something that we've needed in the world of football for a while, and now it's finally being done? I don't want to say right, but it's being done, I guess, differently. What's your thoughts on where you've played and how it all came to this?
Oh, I think the AAF is amazing, and we need this. A guy like me coming from a D2 school, shattering every record, going to arena, rookie of the year, and still getting overlooked. I mean, guys like me and another guy on our team, Reese Horn. He's another D2 player that was an All-American 3 years. Guys like us need this, and it shows. We go to camp with these big name guys, and we compete. We're small school guys, but we compete at the highest level, and we get told no, you're not good enough. No, you're not big enough. And then you put us on the field with these guys, and we compete at the highest level or even better. So it's just this opportunity right here is big. And then playing in NFL Network, getting seen by everyone in the nation, it's just wow. Like, just for me, like, everything has been eye opener. Playing the Alamo Dome. It's just like guys like me hasn't experienced nothing like that. So I'm just, every time you see me around, I'm always smiling and happy, because this is kind of a dream for me. I mean, words can't explain it.
Well, I'm sure you'll have quite the vocabulary of words once you step out onto the field and experience all of this for the first time, because we're going to be on this maiden voyage with you. Now, of course, I cover a lot of indoor and arena football. I met you guys last year with the NAL and the Cobras, and you guys had such a great season. Now, I watched the draft for the quarterback, the protector pick, and then I saw one of the guys from the fleet, I think Josh Johnson, got picked up by the Redskins. So already before the first kickoff, the first anything, the league appeared to be doing what it was designed to do, which is not compete with the NFL. It is, in fact, to assist with the NFL. But for you, you were fresh, in the Arena League last year, and I know some of those names that came across that board that landed on rosters. I did not see them actively playing anywhere else. So for you, what was the experience like to go and mix it up with a bunch of guys who maybe didn't have any kind of arena experience, or maybe hadn't, picked up the ball in a full contact setting for a while? Because I feel like it's one of two ways. Either they look down upon you because you came from indoor, or you're one of the freshest sets of legs out there because you weren't sitting at home waiting for a call. What was that like for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be people that look down on arena, but I mean, I just use that as motivation. Being a walk-on at D2, being an arena guy, I went in there with a chip on my shoulder, and yeah, they look down on me, but we still have to line it up. We still have to go one-on-one, and the best man wins. The thing is, yeah, they got their chance at the league, but maybe they have been sitting the last year. I came straight from arena, so I've been fresh. I've been training 2 times a day, therapy every day, just to be ready for his opportunity. So, I mean, it shows. This last 3 weeks in camp, I was in my best shape I've ever been in, and it showed. So, I mean, yeah, they probably look down on me playing arena, but I mean, I take advantage of every day, every moment there. So.
And obviously, paying off, man. Couldn't be happier because, you see an opportunity, you don't pass on it because of one reason or another. It's like you want to make sure that you have exhausted everything at your disposal to make sure that you're doing your best to get to whatever that ultimate goal for yourself is. And I actually asked Boynton this. I said, the AAF is a league that is not the NFL. However, it's also not semi-pro because you guys are going to get actually paid like professional athletes because the arena leagues, it's pay to play. They pay you guys to play. You don't pay to play, but the checks, the pay is not quite what you would think it would be for playing as a professional athlete. This is different, though. So I asked him straight up. I said, is the goal still to get to NFL, CFL, or if this works out, if this league kind of takes off and the pay is good, like, could you call this home? And he said the ultimate goal was still to get to the NFL. But I'll ask you the same question. I mean, you've been with the team amongst the guys, Coach Singletary. I mean, this isn't your mom's semi-pro league. This is different. What are your thoughts on life in the AAF as we get ready for the season?
I mean, I totally agree. I mean, it is good pay, but the dream is still alive. And I paid arena for whatever money, not good money, and it's not about it's just about doing what I love. I've been playing since I was 4 years old, and it's not just to be content. I want to keep climbing and just get a shot. I mean, I don't consider I failed because I didn't get my NFL opportunity. I just feel like I got looked over. So once I get my chance, I got one chance my whole life in D2. I got one chance in arena. I got one chance in AAF, and I took advantage of all three of those opportunities. So I just gotta stay hungry and just wait for my one NFL opportunity. And I know it's gonna come sooner or later. But yeah, the dream is still alive to play in the NFL. I'm 23 and I'm still young and still hungry. So yeah.
Well, playing since you were 4 with a dream since about that age, and of course a lot of you guys come from a long extended background of football and adversity and obstacles. For you, though, being here, I feel like the biggest obstacles are behind you, but of course you're going to keep grinding as if another one could come your way tomorrow. But for you, if you had to look back now, what would you say was the biggest obstacle that you had to overcome to get here to this point?
The biggest obstacle was after my draft year, not getting a chance and being down on myself and just didn't know what I was going to do. Sitting the whole 2017 year, that was probably the hardest thing I ever had to go through. It was just just crying every day for my dream, just to get a chance, and not understanding why I didn't get a chance. And just 2017 was a rough year. And then Coach Back messaged me and we talked, and just for him to help me in the time of need was real big on me. And that's why I'm forever grateful for Rob Storm and Coach Back for giving me an opportunity, because 2017 was a rough year for me. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, Coach Back, I imagine, I was going to say he probably called you, but messaged you, and he's like, what are you sitting on your ass for? Let's go play ball. It's just totally what in my mind he would say. But man, everybody's happy for you. Really, and I'm thankful that you were able to take the time to talk about your experience and everything, getting to where you are. Cobras are going to drop a banner that will say 2018 National Arena League champions, and that'll happen, I imagine, April. The schedule's not out yet, but do you think that you'll be able to make it back to see the banner drop that you had a hand in achieving?
I sure hope so. I know a lot of them have reached out to me and say they're going to come to the first game, because we play. Not the first game, the second game, first home game. I know a lot of coaches and a couple of players reached out to me and said I'm gonna be there. I wouldn't miss it. So I hope I have, if we have an off day or something, I could take a one-way a round trip flight to go see their game and see the banner drop. I think it'll be a real cool moment, and yeah, I wouldn't want to miss it, but yeah.
Now, you guys are a team that is one of the only ones, if I'm trying to recall all 8. San Diego used to have football, and then the Chargers moved to L.A., And then, of course, San Antonio is in Texas, which, there's football everywhere in Texas. But you guys, I think in Memphis, Tennessee, are the only team that is actually somewhere that professional football already is. What's that been like? Like, how has Memphis been treating you and just the culture of Memphis and football for you?
Well, I've been here for 3 days, and yeah, cause we've been in San Antonio for the last 3 weeks. So
that's right.
Just recently moved here, unpacked, and yeah, the people are nice over here. The area is beautiful. The stadium, like everything's real nice. You could tell it's a football culture over here in Memphis, and yeah, I really haven't been out to see everybody, but I'm sure Thursday when we have our fans come to practice, I'll get to see a couple people.
Yeah, I forgot you guys did kind of everything from home base in San Antonio. I think that's where you guys had training camp and your preseason scrimmages. So I forgot you guys haven't even really been to your own home base city yet, and you guys are about to kick off. But man, it is crazy to think that if after the first game, if you're leading the league in reception yards or touchdowns, that you're leading the league in its entire history. It's the first time for everything happens this weekend, and you guys are gonna hopefully put on a show. You jittery yet? You got the nerves? Everything kind of butterflies in the stomach as you guys are less than a week away.
Yeah, I had a jitters in the first preseason game, just being Alamo Dome, playing out there. It was real jittery, but after all, it's just football. I've been doing this my whole life, and I'm prepared for it. So yeah, I mean, of course you're gonna have those little jitters, but after the first play, everything goes away, and it's time to go. So.
All right, man. Well, the Memphis Express will kick off their 2019 regular season on the 10th in Birmingham to take on the Iron. And then they're finally home the next week on the 16th to host the Arizona Hotshots, which is the other city that actually has a professional team established. So I certainly hope you guys start out 1-0 this weekend. I haven't really picked the team to be my team. I'm just more excited to see this whole thing play out. But hey, you guys will always have a special place in my heart because I got to see you before you hit the big time that is the AAF. But hey, man, it's been a pleasure. I really wish you the best.
Thank you so much. Hopefully I see you at one of the games.
I would love to come and do the fan show thing at one of the games. So if you know the guy I need to talk to, please forward me his info and us say, hey, Fabian wants me there. Let's do this.
I will.
All right. Well, Mr. Guerra, I thank you so much again. You have a great rest of your night.
Thank you for having me, and thank you. You too.
All right. Take care. All right, thank you again, Fabian Guerra. I told him I would not make that mistake again. Only got his name wrong once. It's pretty good for me, considering. But anyway, we are a little over on our normal run time. I know that we block out about an hour, but I've been trying to keep it between 45 and 50 minutes. We are 8 and some change over that, so I will not keep you any longer. I do appreciate all those of you that tuned in and have listened along. I thought these were great interviews, and, I don't like to cut people short. If we've got stuff to talk about, we've got stuff to talk about. So we will be back with another all-new episode tomorrow night. Don't forget, subscribe, download, like, listen, laugh, love, and share. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, best of luck to you and yours. Go Niners, and it's all fun and games until you butt fumble. Good night!
Do you remember the time that Mark Sanchez ran into his own player's butt? That was funny sports.
Thank you for having me on the show, man. I love the fan show.